This past season was Ty Cartier's first season in the AHL. He would lead all rookies in the AHL in points with 57. He would go on to have a pretty productive Calder Cup playoffs, but not before having a pretty productive NHL playoffs. In 10 games in the NHL postseason, and Cartier posted 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points. This is after posting the most amount of points of any rookie in the past season for the AHL. He finished up his first season in the minors, and then they shuttled him to the bigs, and he swam. All this to say, it is possible to have players who develop. It is possible to have players who don't need much time in the minors, and that's where today's video comes in, because amidst all the signings that the Bruins have made, James Van Riemsdyk, Milan Lucic, Morgan Geekie, Kevin Shattenkirk, after the trade of Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno and the waiving to buy out Mike Riley, the Bruins had like $12 million in cap space, and pretty much everybody assumed that it was going to be used to sign Tyler Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi had easily the most productive playoffs of anyone on the Bruins, if I'm not mistaken. 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points in 7 games. Very, very good player. And instead, the Bruins have decided to let him walk on a 1-year, $5.5 million contract with Toronto. Now, what I would have wanted out of this was for us to re-sign Bertuzzi on about that contract. The cap is exploding next year. Pretty much everybody's going to have like $30 million in cap. Who knows? Maybe we get to sign in Matthews. Maybe we get to sign Nylander. Who knows? But a 1-year, $5.5 million contract, and sort of like as a holdover for him to have somewhere to play before he gets his big boy contract. He said that he wanted term and AAV here, and it's clear that he was going to get one or the other. He wasn't going to get both. So, but it was clear to after testing free agency that he wasn't going to get it anywhere. So he just took a 1-year prove it deal with Toronto to so that he could further prove next offseason why he deserves to be paid for 8 years on a contract that's like $7 million at least. What I would have wanted was Bertuzzi to be resigned and bring back Bergie, maybe get a someone for the bottom 6, maybe get a big guy for the bottom 6, someone like a Lucic, someone who you don't have to pay too much, resign Freddie, resign Swayman, and then just have young guys fill up the rest of the roster. But as it seems to be on Bruins Twitter, that is not the consensus. And this may have been from a litany of bad drafting from Sweeney to start. We have 3 first-round picks in 2015, and despite all efforts to trade up, we end up stuck with all 3 of them, and we end up getting only 1 player that's really been in anything of note. We do still get Brandon Carlo in that draft, but we do also trade the pick that ends up becoming Kirill Kaprizov. So, but yeah, a litany of bad drafting at the start of Sweeney's tenure. tenure. Only five players from that from his first few years of drafting have turned into anything for us. Yes, DeBrusque, Carlo, McAvoy, Freddie, and Swayman, and that's really it. But what I didn't tell you about Ty Cartier being first among rookies in scoring in the AHL is, you know who was second in rookie scoring in the AHL? Providence Bruins player Georgi Merkulov. Merkulov was the second best rookie in the entire AHL. Well, and that's not even considering the fact that Lauko had to split time between Providence and getting a shot up here. Beecher has been here for a few years, and I think he is honestly ready to come up. But the one thing that I keep hearing about these young guys is I don't want to take a chance on an unproven commodity. I'd rather get lineup filler before than take a chance on them. To which I say, if you are scared of taking a chance on a young player, then you are never going to get a team that is going to be able to see longevity in this game. If you keep hedging your bets with old fogies who I'm pretty sure I've seen turtles move faster than them, instead of taking a chance on a young guy, you're never going to see the prospects develop into anything, and instead you're just gonna allow them to languish and maybe even grow resentful towards this organization. Now, with all of the signings that we have made, who do I want to see on the Bruins' opening night roster? Well, let's find out. Okay, so I had to make this team in NHL Hut Team Builder, but yeah, this is how I would want this team to roll. Same top line as last year. Marshy, Bergie, DeBrusque. Second line, I would want it to be Zacha, Coyle, Pasternak. I mean, this entirely depends on whether or not he is retiring, because Bergeron's on the open market, but there are really only two options that he's going to take. He's either going to re-sign here or he's going to retire. I really don't see him doing anything else. Third line, Geeky and Frederick of the established guys, and I can see Merkulov making a top. Or actually, you know what? Jacob Lauko could probably slot in on the third over here. He could. I feel like he could definitely help out here. I feel like Merkulov might end up being a guy who we call up in the middle of the season, and then on the fourth, Lucic, Beecher, and Van Riemsdyk. I really don't see Lucic or Van Riemsdyk doing anything very insane this year. And Beecher, this is definitely going to be one where he proves himself, or he doesn't. For defense, it's pretty much the same as last year. We didn't get rid of Grzelcyk this year, so this offseason, at least not yet. So he's still here with McAvoy. Lindholm Carlo was a fantastic line last year, and Forbort and Shattenkirk. We're gonna have two old fogies here. That's gonna be wonderful. For goalies, Olmark is staying. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Swayman Swayman. It really doesn't seem like he's going to be signing for an insane amount. And it says fine. Well, that's just rude to Monty. But yeah, that's really where we have. That's really what we have for our roster. And I plead with all of Bruins Twitter. Give the young guys a chance. Give the young guys a chance. Because I know deep down, you want to see people going faster than Milan Lucic. I know this team has its roots in slow lumbering, but hard and physical play. But you know what? That kind of play doesn't get results in the modern NHL. But really, what happens when you don't trust the young guys is your team just perpetually stays older and older and older. You know what probably could have helped the Penguins getting to the playoffs this past year? Even though let's be honest, they weren't that great of a team. They could, instead of just getting older at the deadline, they went from being one of the youngest teams in the entire league to averaging across the entire roster the oldest. They keep that young speed and style of play. We might have been looking at a completely different NHL playoffs where we beat them in 5. Come on, it's Pittsburgh. They're not gonna. We're gonna kick their asses. But that ultimately is what we're dealing with when we try to jettison the chances of young guys playing in favor of being comfortable with old. If we stay, we need to venture outside of our comfort zone. All of us. Yes. If we don't venture outside of our comfort zone, we don't get new and exciting things. We all have to venture outside of our comfort zones in life. If we don't, we end up with same old. And if we continue to just be complacent in known commodities, what we don't get? We don't get guys like Patrice Bergeron. We don't get guys like Brad Marchand. We don't get guys like David Krejci, Torrey Krug, Dougie Hamilton, Tyler Seguin. I know those last two kind of pissed off after their rookie deals, or we traded them. That's right, we traded them. We don't get guys like DeBrusque, like Carlo, like McAvoy, like Frederick, like Swayman. Oh my God, we don't get Swayman like this. We don't get Pasternak if we don't trust the young guys. And I know Swayman came in as the fourth line in goalie because in that 56 game season of North, South, East, West divisions, we got what is it? We started with Rask and Halak. Rask got injured, Halak got injured, and all of a sudden we were starting Vladar. Vladar didn't really. Vladar, I think, got hurt, so we ended up with Swayman, and lo and behold, he's one of the best young goalies in the league. If we don't get experiences like that, if we don't trust young guys. And so, for the sake of the future of this franchise, have a little faith in the young guys. And that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.